The sky splits open under the weight of a midnight moon, a scar of white in the black velvet. Through this curtain of white, a shape descends. A sleigh, yes, but not the one from storybooks. This one is a splinter of bone and iron, pulled by creatures that were once reindeer. Now they are nightmares of hide and sinew, their flesh peeling back to reveal the skeletal frame beneath, their eyes burning like embers in the frozen air. At the reins sits a figure cloaked in tradition, but twisted by malice. His suit is the color of dried blood, a dark cherry red. His beard, once a symbol of grandfatherly warmth, is now a matted, filthy tangle. He is an imposing, terrifying mockery of Santa Claus. With a crash that shakes the very foundations of the city, the sleigh slams into the main square, skidding to a halt beside the towering, brightly lit Christmas tree. The contrast is sickening. With a grunt, the skeletal Santa heaves an enormous sack from his back, letting it fall to the ground with a heavy, final thud. People, drawn by the spectacle, begin to gather, their initial curiosity slowly curdling into a knot of dread in their stomachs. The air grows cold, colder than any winter night should be. A hush falls over the crowd, a fragile moment of disbelief before the horror truly begins. Drawn by an unseen force, children and their families surge forward, their faces a mixture of excitement and confusion. A young girl, brave and hopeful, reaches the nearest gift, a beautifully wrapped box topped with a perfect bow. Her small hands tear at the paper, revealing not a doll, not a toy train, but something cold and metallic. A huge, rusty butcher knife, its blade etched with glowing, malevolent runes, lies nestled in the silk lining. A collective gasp ripples through the crowd, followed by a wave of screams. One by one, every box is torn open, and the scene repeats itself. Inside each, a different instrument of torture, a unique cursed blade, a relic of pain and suffering. The gifts of terror. As the people recoil, throwing the cursed presents to the ground in abject horror, the mask of the being they thought was Santa finally falls away. It shatters on the snow-covered cobblestones, revealing what lies beneath. A face that is not human, with empty, cavernous eye sockets that seem to suck all light and hope from the square. And then, the knives begin to move. They lift from the snow, rising into the air, hovering like a swarm of metallic wasps, their sharp points glinting in the eerie moonlight, ready to strike. The symphony of terror has begun. Just as the panic on the ground reaches a fever pitch, a new spectacle appears in the sky. Flocks of storks, symbols of new life and purity, glide gracefully through the snowstorm. For a fleeting second, it seems like a sign of hope, a celestial intervention. But this hope is a cruel illusion. The illusion shatters as the birds' white feathers begin to fall away, disintegrating into dust before they even touch the ground. Their forms elongate, stretch, and twist. Their solid bodies dissolve into translucent, smoky apparitions. The storks are gone, replaced by shadow creatures, demonic spirits of pure darkness. These ethereal horrors descend upon the city like a plague. Their eyes ignite, glowing with an unnatural neon blue and electric yellow light, piercing through the gloom. They are silent, swift, and merciless. They pass through walls, through cars, through people. As they touch the living, a terrible frost spreads from the point of contact, freezing them in place, their faces locked in masks of terror. Others are not so lucky. The shadow demons phase into their bodies, possessing them, sucking their very souls until only an empty, shivering husk remains. From every dark alley, from every sewer grate, from every shadow cast by the festive lights, more of these entities erupt, flooding the city in a tidal wave of ghostly malevolence. The transformation is complete. The city is now a hunting ground. Absolute chaos reigns. The screams are a constant, unending chorus. The crowd in the square breaks, a stampede of pure animal fear. People trample one another, their only thought to escape the unfolding nightmare. Some manage to scramble into their cars, fumbling for their keys, turning the ignition. But the engines only sputter and die. The electronics are dead. Through the frosted windshields, they see the shadow creatures closing in. A demon smashes through a driver's side window, its smoky tendrils wrapping around the screaming man inside. A woman, fleeing through the deep snow, stumbles and falls. She looks up just in time to see one of the glowing-eyed horrors descending upon her, its form blotting out the moon. Another man floors the gas, his car finally lurching to life. He speeds away, glancing at his rearview mirror for a moment of relief, only to see a pair of glowing yellow eyes staring back at him from the backseat. High above it all, the skeletal Santa climbs back into his sleigh. He watches the pandemonium below, a silent orchestra conductor presiding over his masterwork of fear, a dark, triumphant orchestral score swelling to a crescendo. Then, as suddenly as it began, the noise begins to fade. The screams die down, replaced by an unnerving silence. One by one, the city's lights go out. The giant Christmas tree, the street lamps, the festive displays all flicker and die, plunging the metropolis into a profound darkness. The only light comes from the moon, illuminating the aftermath. The snow is no longer pure white. The city is a kaleidoscope of Christmas joy. Lights twinkle, fake snow falls, and the air is thick with the scent of pine and roasted chestnuts. At the heart of it all, a Christmas market buzzes with life. A matte black beast of a motorcycle slices through the crowd, its rider a demonic shadow against the bright decorations. He wears a twisted, metallic Santa mask, its eyes glowing with a malevolent red light. The machine is an extension of his will, a weapon of chaos. The joyful carols are swallowed by the engine's scream. Panic erupts. The rider's point of view shows a world of terror. Faces contort in fear as he carves a path of destruction. Stalls splinter, sending festive goods flying like shrapnel. Time seems to warp and slow as decorations shatter into a million pieces. The bike slams into the group of carolers. It's a blur of motion, a cacophony of impact and screams. And then silence. A single, broken Christmas ornament lies in a dark, spreading pool, reflecting the flickering lights, a fractured mirror of the violated peace. The bike tears away, spitting snow and debris, and vanishes into the narrow streets. The last thing we see is the distorted reflection of the city, its lights in the killer's visor, like the cold, unblinking eyes of a predator. The roar of the engine finally dies in a dilapidated industrial garage. This is the killer's den, a place of grime, oil and shadow, a world away from the festive city. A single sad string of Christmas lights blinks weakly in a corner, a mocking echo of the world outside. The rider dismounts with a practiced, fluid grace. The ceremony begins. Slowly, deliberately, he removes his gear. The metallic Santa mask is placed on a workbench, its empty, glowing eyes staring into the darkness. The sleek, tactical suit is peeled off, revealing a physique honed for violence. Then, the final layer. He pulls off a balaclava, and the monster is gone. In his place stands a man, surprisingly young, handsome, with sharp features and cold, calculating eyes. The transformation continues. He meticulously dresses in an expensive, tailored suit. Every movement is precise, ritualistic. He fastens a pair of cufflinks, slips on polished shoes, and checks a designer watch. He's becoming someone else entirely. Standing before a cracked mirror, he adjusts his tie. For a fleeting moment, something deeply unsettling flickers in his reflection. In the background, the Santa mask sits on the workbench, a silent, menacing testament to the beast that waits within the man. He steps into the Mistletoe, a high-end nightclub where Christmas is remixed into a pulsating, bass-heavy beat. Strobe lights flash, LED screens display abstract holiday patterns, and the air is thick with fog and sweat. He moves through the throng, a ghost in the machine. His eyes scan the crowd, detached, observant, hunting. His gaze settles on a target, a young woman, part of a laughing group, but somehow separate, a subtle vulnerability in her posture. He moves in, a shark gliding through water. His approach is seamless, his charm disarming. He offers a drink. Her initial wariness melts away under his charismatic smile. It's a silent, deadly dance of seduction. He subtly guides her away from the crowded dance floor, towards a quieter, darker corner of the VIP lounge. The pounding music fades, replaced by a distorted, ethereal version of a carol. The trap is set, and then it springs. A sudden, brutal flash of violence in the shadows, a muffled sound, and then nothing. A single, glittering bauble, knocked loose, rolls into the light from the darkness and stops. The hunt is over. Later, the party rages on, fueled by a more frantic, desperate energy. The killer repeats his predatory pattern, faster this time, more aggressive. Quick flashes of dark corners, sudden, violent movements, another life extinguished in the neon-drenched chaos. The spell is broken by a scream. A club employee, stumbling into a secluded hallway, makes a horrifying discovery. The music grinds to a halt. The strobes flash erratically. Confusion turns to panic. The crowd becomes a surging, terrified mass. Amidst the chaos, the killer remains perfectly calm. He melts into the panicked horde, a dark satisfaction gleaming in his eyes as he moves silently towards an emergency exit. The predator has fed, and now it's time to disappear. He bursts out of the club's back exit into the cold night air. The chase is on. Frantic security guards are close behind. He moves with inhuman agility through the snowy, trash-filled alleys, a ghost in the urban wilderness. He vaults over dumpsters, scales fences, his movements economical and deadly. A pursuer gets too close. The confrontation is brutally short, a quick, efficient display of violence that leaves the guard crumpled in the snow. He reaches his bike, hidden in the shadows. The metallic Santa mask sits on the seat, a silent accomplice. He doesn't put it on. He doesn't need to. He starts the engine, its roar shattering the late-night silence. He pulls out onto the main street, merging seamlessly into the slow-moving stream of festive traffic. He is just another car, another silhouette against the backdrop of a city still wrapped in its holiday dreams. The camera follows from behind as he rides away, disappearing into the river of taillights. The last thing we see is the glint of a passing Christmas light on the curved metal of the Santa mask, now slung over his shoulder, a final, chilling promise of horrors yet to come. The city is oblivious. The ghost in the snow has vanished, waiting for the next silent night.